You don't pick your Linux distro. Your Linux distro picks you, and it says a lot more about you than your zodiac sign ever could. Ubuntu? That's Virgo. Kali? Definitely Scorpio energy. We're diving deep into the psychological abyss of Linux users, because behind every distro is a fragile ego, a forum thread war, and at least one failed attempt to make Bluetooth work. Let's start with the big one, Ubuntu. You wanted Linux, but you also wanted things like a functioning desktop, so you went with the safe choice, the Trader Joe's of distros. Everything works, it looks pretty decent, and there's a guy named Steve on Reddit who will fix all your problems if you ask nicely. You tell people you use Linux, but what you really mean is, I use a Windows skin with sudo. And you're okay with that. You didn't want to climb a mountain to install a printer driver. You wanted peace, respect, stability, and 8 different snap packages of the same app because you accidentally clicked install 3 times. Now let's talk about Arch. You didn't install Arch. Arch installed you. You spent 6 hours following a wiki just to get a terminal login screen, and you haven't looked back since. Arch users don't use Linux. They ritualize it. Your rice is immaculate. Your font is something called Ioshevka Term Nerd Mono, and your window manager has 3-letter keybinds that summon demons. Your computer looks like a hacker movie, but you still haven't gotten audio to work on Zoom. You claim it's for minimalism, but deep down you love the pain. You crave it. You wear BTW I use Arch, like a badge of trauma. Kali Linux. Oh boy. You watched one Mr. Robot episode and said, yeah, I'm gonna hack the Pentagon tonight. You don't know what half the tools do, but you ran Nmap on your neighbor's smart fridge, and now you think you're the next Kevin Mitnick. You use penetration tester in your bio, but your only successful hack was logging into your school's Wi-Fi with password 123. Your desktop has a dragon on it. Your soul has anime profile picture energy. And every time someone tells you Kali isn't for daily use, you say, it's fine, while Googling how to install Chrome. Now here's Fedora. You tell people you use Fedora because it's cutting edge. But the truth is, you like GNOME. You think the workflow is clean, elegant, maybe even sexy. You pretend you're not corporate, but let's be real. You write YAML files for a living. Fedora users are the people who wear Allbirds and drink coffee made with a pour-over. You're not trying to be flashy, you just want a distro that works with SE-Linux enabled so you can sleep at night. And every time you see someone install an RPM manually, you flinch. Debian users are different. You don't use Debian because it's exciting. You use it because it's predictable. You don't care about new features. You care about not rebooting for 6 years. You believe in stability, order, and the divine power of apt. Your setup is probably all terminal-based, and you still read man pages for fun. Then there's Gentoo. No one chooses Gentoo. Gentoo chooses you and ruins your weekend. You compile everything. You breathe use flags. You once spent 17 hours building Firefox from source and called it a learning experience. You are either a wizard or a masochist, probably both. Gentoo users operate on a higher plane of existence, where time is meaningless and CPU cycles are offerings to the Linux gods. You don't update your system, you pray over it. Pop! OS is where you ended up after realizing Ubuntu wasn't cool anymore. You tell people it's based on Ubuntu, but better. And you mean that spiritually. You love the tiling window manager. You think System 76 is doing great work for the community. But mostly, you like that your laptop boots up without screaming. Pop! OS is like if Linux got a UX designer and a marketing team. You say you're not like the other Linux users. But deep down, you're still just running GNOME with extra steps. Linux Mint. Oh, sweet Mint. You wanted Linux, but with the emotional support of Windows XP. Your menu bar is at the bottom. Your icons look familiar. You don't want to be a hacker. You just want to use your computer. You installed Mint for your grandma once, and now you use it too. You drink tea. You read changelogs like bedtime stories. You think Cinnamon is the peak of desktop environments, and honestly, you're probably right. So whether you're an arch masochist, a Debian monk, or a Pop! OS minimalist just trying to vibe, one thing's for sure. Customizing your desktop won't pay the bills, but hacking can. You know, like the folks pulling in $1,000, $5,000, even $10,000 plus from hacking, just by knowing where to look, what to exploit, and how to turn vulnerabilities into payouts. That's exactly what we break down inside CyberFlow's Academy. No fluff, no outdated theory, just the real skills that get results. Web hacking, bug bounty, reverse engineering, and full ethical hacking, all taught step by step, so you actually know what you're doing. We even have a private community where hackers share exploits before they go public, so you'll see exactly how others are landing 4-figure bounties and how you can do the same. Some members have made back their investment in weeks, others have turned hacking into a full-time job, spots are closing fast. Every day you wait, some guy with a smart toaster is getting ahead of you. Click below, get inside, and start making hacking pay. Then there's the chaotic neutral distros. Tails? You boot off USB. You don't update. You're either Edward Snowden or just very into privacy. Slackware, you were there before Linux was cool. You probably still are. You speak in tarballs, nixos. You believe the future is declarative. You write your entire config in something that looks like JSON but fights back. Your system is reproducible, but your personality, unstable. At the end of the day, your Linux distro doesn't define you, but it does explain why you haven't touched grass since 2019. You're part of the chaos. And we love that. Just maybe stop fighting each other on Reddit and help me figure out how to get my Wi-Fi working. Which one are you? And which one did I miss? Let me know in the comments. And if you say I use LFS, I'm calling the police.